Good morning. Welcome to Practitioner Sunday. I'm Betty Cook. I'm one of your practitioners at the Center for Spiritual Living at Eugene, and I'm here to talk to you about the genius of the both and. I've been thinking a lot about this since I got the talk title, but I've thought a lot about it before that because I'm a pretty both and kind of person when it comes to problem solving. I'm always trying to find that middle way through. But today I thought I just was struck by the fact that I can't see anything without my glasses. I can't. And in the morning, however, before I put on any of my glasses or my contacts, I notice how beautiful all the colors are of fall because all I see is the color. I can't see any of the detail. And I remembered that Monet kind of saw it all the same way. You know, he was losing his vision. And so we have these enormous, beautiful canvases with what he could see, which was the depth of the color. And that to me is a great way to start this talk because we often use sight and seeing as a metaphor for our understanding. We don't necessarily have a PowerPoint from somebody, but we do say often, I see what you mean, or I see where you're going with this. We often use that as a way to talk about enlightenment, you know, I saw the light. Or so I know that it is a way to talk about it. We use those sight metaphors to talk about understanding. But our understanding is always informed by our experiences, our culture, and who we've learned from. All of that really informs how you see, even how you see with your eyes and the information you pick up and what you notice. But I started thinking about what happens to us as we grow older. Because wisdom is completely affected by the muscles in our eyes that affect our cornea. That's what happens to us, folks. The muscles in our eyes just kind of stop working as well as they used to. And you notice this in terms of the fact that you need more light to see the print. That's the first thing you notice. Part of that is cataracts, but part of that is the corneal muscles. And then the other thing is that you can't see the little print very good anymore. And that's what happened to me. I couldn't see the little print anymore. I was sure something had happened. They were making things smaller. They were printing smaller. And sometimes they were printing smaller, but mostly it wasn't the print, it was me, right? So I have to go in for exams. I have an exam every year. I've had them since I was 14, and they found out that I was farsighted. So for a long time, it was a fairly short exam. I went in, my close vision and middle vision was fine. They would go in and they would correct for my far vision, and I'd be out of there. And, you know, over at the shop picking out my lenses. This is before I got contacts. Of course, once I got contacts, forget it. I only had glasses for when I wasn't wearing contacts, and that wasn't very long. It's kind of still a world I'm in. But here's the thing about that with contacts. You know, they can only do that for so long. And that's what I noticed. Pretty soon, I'm getting to my late 40s, and these exams aren't short anymore. And that part where they have the machine in front of you, and they're flipping those lenses, better or worse, that got really long. And there's a lot of, do that again. And perhaps you've had this experience yourself. Perhaps all these things have happened to you. All of a sudden the light isn't as bright. All of a sudden you need more light to see. All of a sudden, you know, so you may understand what I'm talking about. So I go in, and here's the thing. When you're young, it's all very easy. It's easy to see. And so you think you know exactly what you're seeing, and you saw it, and it was the truth. But we know even from studies of eyewitness testimony that even eyewitnesses don't see things, and there are things we don't see. So what happens is I go in and I have these exams that are getting longer, is that they're having to actually start to correct for the close vision. And that means they have to actually take a little bit from the far vision and try to shoot for the middle. So here we are. First, I'm just trying to get it so that I can see close and I can see far. We did that for 2 or 3 years. But now I'm in an embodied kind of wisdom, aren't I? Now we have to have the third way, that middle vision that I have to have. And that's what they shoot for. They shoot for that middle. They give you as much middle vision as they can. I don't have as much far. I don't have as much near. And in fact, they'll get to the point where they're saying this is as good as it gets, have a pair of readers. But I think that is why we are given that as we get older. And also why we are aware that things are changing. And we start to sound like our grandparents, We don't understand how younger people see things. We don't understand their culture. But the thing is that culture evolves. And what they understand and how they see things and their understanding is informed also by their politics when they grew up. We don't see things the way that they do because we literally can't understand and pick up information the way that they do. Which is why, because it is so informed by all those things, we need to let as much vision in as possible, as many points of view, as much diversity in our own and other vision. So whether looking at things historically within my own comfort zone or opening to a new view, a larger picture, either from younger people or inviting digital or cross-cultural or tribal or virtual sources of information and understanding, I can't see it the usual way. I can't use my usual lenses. I have to literally, because my corneas don't work the way that they do, and I can't see it the same way. And the privilege of growing older is that you have to let in more light. You have to let in more light. So that's a very strong spiritual message to me. We need to let in more light. We need to let in more color. We need to let in a lot of things so we can see better. And maybe that's all we need to understand as we spiritually grow older. Not that younger people or newer understanding has all the answers, but there is an and world there. The and is somewhere in all of the information. The and is in all of the things that we can gather and understand as we get older, as we become and move into that elder sort of position. Now, because I am a child of the 60s, born there, and because I was affected by all of that, I like these particular lenses more than many others. Because, number one, if you get a chance to put on any kind of purple lenses, you should do so. The colors in the fall are fantastic with these lenses. And I am very privileged. I can still see pretty well. I can still see enough light. I can still get that optometrist to give me the middle vision, all of it. And what do we call those things? Those lenses that don't have any lines as we get to the trifocal stage, right? What do we call them? We call them progressives. They are progressive lenses. So whether it's my progressive lenses that I wear at night in order to watch the TV, or it's these that I really like to wear these days because, let's face it, who can't just get a better perspective looking through purple? But what we need to understand more than anything is that there is always a both and world that can not only inform us, but change us. If we can hear the young, if we can get past the digital divide, if we can get past some of our own cultural biases and hear them, we can hear folks not like us, we can see things we haven't seen before, understand things we haven't understood before. And all of that is really what we need because, let's face it, we can't have the vision the way we had it before. We're going to have to see it differently. That is my message for today. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and namaste.